They're giving you some upgrades, some alignment. What do you feel like channeling today? What do you feel around you?
They put me somewhere already, so I guess it's not a choice.
Yeah.
Before you even said that, I'm
Hmm.
seeing snow all around me. So it feels like I'm in a really cold place.
And is it like explain to me what about the snow? Like what's around you? Tell me about the environment that you're in. Is there anyone there with you?
The Plutonians.
Oh, they're back to bringing humor to our life. Why are the Plutonians taking you to the snow?
I just, you know that song where it's like, baby, you're cold as ice? That song started playing in my head.
They're funny. Do they have any messages for us as we start out asking questions?
I also heard the word Polaris. So I'm asking them if they took me to Polaris. They took me to a moon on Polaris. This is where their collective began. And then their collective has moved to different places around the universe, but the actual like being that is a Plutonian started on Polaris or in this constellation.
What kind of work did they do on the moon?
They just said we don't work.
Um, what was the life like for them on the moon?
They said that they have they evolved from the cold, or they are used to like colder environments, and so that's why it feels really cold here. And they're saying that so they said that the world is about to get very, very cold, but we have the opportunity to bring warmth to the planet. And this is a metaphor, and it's also much more real than we think.
And why is it going to get cold? Is it to do with like the polarity shifts at the poles or fake weather or what can they tell us about that?
So I'm hearing the song again, like, baby, you're cold as ice. So they're saying like the world is just about to get very cold. So people that don't understand what is happening, um, a lot of the a lot of people will just seem like very cold. Like they are unemotional, they're completely desensitized to what's happening. And they're saying that we can use the light within us to warm them up, to almost like defrost them. Like it almost looks like people are like walking around frozen. Like they've become so frozen to what's happening around them. And we have this eternal light within us that is just like defrosting their energy.
Now, when we're truly just living as we are, just who we are and happy and bringing just that authentic being to the table, is there anything else we need to do more to thaw these other people than just being ourselves? Or what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I'm getting a picture of almost like a group of people that have been, I'm getting a picture of a group of people that have been frosted over. And just all it takes is one person to just stand near them, where the flame inside of them is so hot and so warm and so loving. It's just defrosting the people around them. It's like defrosting the ice so that you can see the flame within them.
And how within ourselves do we get to that place of being that flame?
They said you already are the flame, that you can just sit back and be the observer, and this flame is naturally ignited within you. And I got a I got a picture of the Plutonians as like they're on a moon full of ice, but they're just running around as flames. Like it looked like a bunch of little flames running around. That's our natural state of being, that the spirit is fire. And so naturally, we already are a beautiful light. We already are the flame. There's nothing that we have to do but just be. And they're saying like when that flame starts to dim, or when we start to feel the ice start to freeze over us, that's when we need to be consciously aware of the environment that we're in, our own thoughts and feelings, or if somebody else is projecting their coldness towards us.
Now, going to environmentally speaking, not spiritually speaking, the cold that we're going to experience, will that bring people's passings? Like people potentially will die from the cold, or animals may die from the cold. I just want to understand the purpose for potentially that happening.
Oh my gosh, you know people that what are they called? The people that freeze their bodies to try when they die, so that in case they can be like revived once they figure it out. Have you heard of that? How like wealthy people will freeze their bodies after they die?
Like cryogenically freeze.
Yes. Yes. So they said that they were making a joke and they were like, those people didn't even have to freeze themselves because they were already cold as ice.
Well, what about like, because when we hear things that happen and we think about people who are affected by this and potentially lose their lives, whether it be a mass freezing, it drops our frequency, right? Because we connect with it and it doesn't feel nice, and we connect with that energy and we want to help in some way and we feel sorrowful. What can you tell us about the potential deaths that will happen with this freezing and how we can navigate that energy?
Yeah, it's a rebalance of energies.
So explain a little bit more about that.
They're really showing me the dichotomy between hot and cold. And just know that if people have chosen the path to be cold as ice or to freeze themselves, because the soul is completely limitless. So these people have chosen this path to be frozen. They've chosen the path to not feel the light within themselves, to thaw the ice around them. And they're really showing me it's almost like when you're a flame, your energy field is expanding and it's huge. And when you're and it's almost like a walking icicle. It's like you're pulling in all of your energy and you're frozen in place. And they're just saying that these people have chosen this to be the observer and to know that this is a very interesting time to be alive. That's all they're saying.
Yeah,
They're saying
yeah.
the most important part is to learn how to stand back, be the observer, stand in your own fire, in your own flame. And if you can warm up some people around you, then that's a very beautiful thing. And if not, that's okay too. You have to learn to live from a place of neutrality, because if you run around and you're so worried about the people that are frozen or the people that are cold as ice, then you will also be turned into an icicle almost. You will be cold as ice as well because you are going to end up matching their frequency that they're carrying just by over worrying about those people.
When you look at the bigger perspective for ascension, does this, what we're going to experience, does this help the ascension and does it play a bigger role?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the split that we're seeing. So we're starting to see people that are starting to de-thaw, that are starting to really ignite the light within themselves. And then we're seeing the people that are okay being frozen. We're seeing the people that maybe they don't know how to be any other way. And it's causing a mass split in the collective, and both paths are okay.
Yeah, we do see with the people around us. I can personally say that are being shown what doesn't serve them right now on such a level that they have no opportunity other than to make a choice. Like everything that you've ignored now is just blatantly being put in your path. And so I think that's a beautiful gift and an opportunity. And I can understand what you mean with the split. So I appreciate that higher perspective.
I got an image of like, so the people that are frozen, it's almost like they're a walking ice cube. And if something gets in their path and they're not willing to like de-thaw themselves or to feel the fire within them, then they just topple over and shatter. And they're saying some people will shatter, and that's okay. We have to love those people too.
Yeah. Yeah. Is creating boundaries, is that still okay when it's talking about love for people?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially through this transition, boundaries are so important. So you can care for others, be compassionate for others, but still put yourself first and put your own needs first while this transition is happening. Because you can't help other people if you're not safe within yourself.
Absolutely. Are there any final messages from the Plutonians today?
Yeah, so they're just really saying right now, especially since there's so many people around you that are cold as ice, and as these things happen, as different events happen, and the world may feel a little bit more chaotic, they're going to be even more frozen. So you're going to see people that begin to really ignite their flame, but then you're also going to see people that are more frozen. And so the best thing that you can do is come back to yourself, back to your body, and how can you feel safe in your body? How can you root yourself into your body, even if it's just like checking in every single day and asking yourself, like, I am so safe today. What does my body need? Is there anything making me feel unsafe in my environment? Just reminding yourself how loved you are. And if you need to have some kind of like self-soothing practice, rather it's like just hugging yourself in the morning or just taking a couple minutes to root yourself into safety, into whatever your safety is, it will change your life. It will change your day completely. Just to having your basic needs of feeling safe in your environment met.
That's beautiful. One question, I just made a correlation because the trend has been cold plunging for mental and physical health. People are doing it to reset their brains, reset their central nervous system, and it seems to be helping. And now I'm like, we're about to go through a cold plunge. Is that kind of on a bigger level, resetting some of those things if it possibly can be done?
Yeah, absolutely. So you need the water and you need the fire. And the problem with the water is you can get the water as cold as you want it to, as long as it doesn't freeze over you. Because when it freezes over you, that's when you die. And the same can be said, and it's like a metaphor as well, that
Mhm.
when you allow all of that coldness to freeze over you, that is when your soul is most likely going to choose to leave the experience that you're having, or when your energy is just going to be completely shut down in place. And
Mhm.
so being immersed in the cold for a time being can be extremely cleansing. It can be very helpful to a reset to your nervous system. It can help you really cleanse energy and emotions, but then you have to reignite that fire within you as a reset. You always have to come back to the fire, or else your path may not last as long as you would like for it to.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Plutonians. We appreciate you coming and visiting us. We love your cheerful, happy beings and showing us where you originated from. We appreciate you guys so much.